we'll go the same order as we did last time. Andrew Jones and then Michelle. Go ahead, Andrew.
Thank you as always, Aaron. Sophia, you had both the W Championship and now the NWSL Championship. Which of the two has had the best celebrations that you had with the team? Because you had great celebrations for both. So
wait, between what?
CONCACAF W Championship or the NWSL
Oh,
Championship?
I mean, any championship, it's hard to compare because winning any championship is the best feeling ever because we put so much work into it. So I probably couldn't decide. It's two different teams. I've been with the two teams through a lot, and it's just cool to see us come away with the championship.
I mean, in terms of like the most fun celebration that you had in terms of either two.
Probably the NWSL one because it was just the end of a very long season, and I think everyone was very ready to celebrate that.
Enough said.
And you got it.
Sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, and real quick, you got a great shot from Billie Jean King in terms of the season. Did you have any other surprise shout outs for your season and your team winning the championship?
I mean, yeah, I got lots of really nice messages from a lot of people that I look up to, have grown up watching, are icon. Like, yeah, I've gotten lots of cool messages. So it's fun to receive those and just to see really cool people are paying attention.
I also texted her to congratulate
Yeah,
her.
Hype did too.
Yeah. Let's go to Michelle Kaufman.
Hi, Sophia. Welcome. I'm from the Miami Herald. Welcome. I'm sorry about the weather. I mentioned before too. I wish that I could have made it a nice sunny day for you guys the last few days. I want to just ask you, as somebody who is still young, but you've become a very integral part of the team already. Do you already feel like you're kind of a young leader on the team, even though you're young, or do you still defer to the older players? And also, do you feel like more pressure now that so much is expected of you? You're kind of the next, big thing, or so they say. Do you feel extra pressure now that there's more of a spotlight on you than there was maybe 2 years ago?
Yeah. In terms of the first question, I think it's definitely a balance of knowing I am one of the younger players, but I also have been here longer than a lot of the players now. So it's a balance of using the experience that I do have to help the players who haven't been here as long, but also looking to the older players who have been through it all and always learning from them, always asking questions. So it's definitely a balancing place that I've found myself in, and it's a good place to be in because I feel like it gives me another level of confidence, but at the same time, I'm still learning, growing every day in this environment. And then in terms of pressure, I don't put more pressure on myself. I think being an athlete, there's already enough of that. So I try not to put too much on myself. I think I'm in a great position, and all I can do is continue to work hard and try to get better every single day and just be myself. So, yeah, I try not to add any more pressure than is necessary.
If I can ask one follow up, who are some of the players that you emulated or that you tried to pattern your game after? Are there some players who are either playing now or who played in the past that you kind of modeled yourself after or admired growing up?
I watched Marta a lot growing up. She was crafty, fun player to watch. I think in terms of emulating my game, I mean, I always want to, score goals. So you can't go wrong with looking up to Mia Hamm. But I think I've just tried to kind of be my own player and yeah, just be Sophie Smith. Like I don't want to be necessarily exactly like anyone else. I think that's what's cool about this team is everyone can be their own unique player in person, and we take pride in that and everyone accepts that. So I think just trying to be myself and play my own kind of game.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. Let's go to Rachel Bachman. Go ahead, Rachel.
So since Michelle asked actually both the questions I was going to ask, I will pivot. Who when you were growing up, who were your idols and influences outside the sport of soccer, and why? Everything from people to books and other areas of interest.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't read a lot of books growing up. That's been more of a recent thing. So I would say probably Serena Williams. She was just always someone that I could look to and just see greatness. Just see someone who was great at their sport, carried themselves in the best way possible, and I mean, it's Serena Williams. Like there's you can't say enough good things about her. So I'd say she was definitely one of the main people I always looked up to. My dad always, talked about her, had us, watching videos about her speaking. So she was definitely a big one for me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rachel. Who is next? It's Steph Young. Go ahead, Steph.
Thanks, Aaron. Hi, Sophia. In the previous call, Blacko actually talked a little bit about kind of getting the midfielders clicking together and how it does take time because you guys are in and out of camp. Maybe you have different roles for your club or national team. Just wondering what the discussion is like between you and the midfield group, especially, in terms of your interaction with them, usually from that winger position.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a very important relationship that we have with our midfielders. They're all amazing midfielders. They're all so good at what they do. I think it really is just a matter of connecting with them more and building those relationships. We obviously have, the players that we're typically next to out on the field during the game, and building that relationship is huge. Like for me, I play a lot with Rose, so getting to know Rose, getting to know our tendencies, stuff like that is very important. And I have no doubt that once it like really starts to click, it's going to be really fun.
If I could follow up, actually, it's a completely different question. You mentioned it's been a really long season. By my count, you had to give something at least 3 MVP speeches because we saw that you found out with your team and then they made you do it again at Media Day. And I think they made you do it again after the championship.
Yeah.
Just wondering, every time that happened and your teammates kept yelling speech at you, were you like, guys, please don't do this to me?
I mean, yeah, I feel like my speech kind of got repetitive, but everything I said in all of them was true. So I don't know why I would change it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why my teammates are yelling that and then giving me crap for saying the same thing. So I said what I felt like I needed to say. I mean, I'll say it again. Like, I love my team, I love my teammates, and I wouldn't, win those awards without them. But yeah, the speech thing, I hope that, yeah, I don't have to give that same speech again for a little while.
They probably
Did
just
they
wanted
bother
to.
you for repeating? Did your teammates make
Yeah,
fun of you?
some of them were like, I could tell you exactly what Soph's gonna say. She's gonna say, "I love my team," and it's like, okay, what am I supposed to say? I hate my team. Yeah, they didn't. They just kind of messed with me about it. It was funny.
They probably just wanted to hear
Thank
you
you.
praise them again.
Yeah, they
And
wanted to
again.
hear me tell them I love them.
Yes. Andrew, do you have another one?
Just 2 quick ones, Aaron. In terms of for Germany's team, with Albert being the only one that plays in NWSL, who for you do you enjoy watching play on their team with Alexandra Pop and her great career, as well as Sophia Hoop? Is there anyone on that team that you enjoy playing whenever you're able to see them play, besides obviously not enjoying watching them play against you, but in terms of just being a fan of their games?
Yeah, I mean, I watched most Euros games. They were all really good games. Pop obviously is an incredible player. So honestly, like her movement in the box, how she gets on the end of crosses is something that I need to work on in my game. So yeah, for sure. I watched her. She's very, very good at it. So there's stuff to learn there. But honestly, all the players on this team are great players. And it's going to be a good test for us for sure.
Let's go to Michelle Kaufman again, I think. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have 2 quick ones. One
Yeah, go
about
for
you and one about the team. As far as you, I wanted to ask how you got started in soccer in the first place. Was there any soccer background in your family? And did you consider other sports, or was it like a love for soccer from the beginning? And then the team question is, does the team feel any pressure to sort of, not that the U.S. national women's team has to prove anything after everything it's done, but when you lose a couple games, which is something that hasn't happened in a long, long time, does this particular group tomorrow night feel that an extra pressure to win, even though it's an exhibition, because of the losses in October? Thank you.
Yeah. So I got started in soccer at a young age. I have two older sisters who both played soccer, so it was a pretty easy decision for me to want to try out for my first team. I played a lot of other sports growing up: basketball, volleyball, track and field, a little bit of gymnastics sometimes. So yeah, I did lots of sports. I loved them all, but I love soccer the most. In terms of, yeah, these next few games, I think we are very, hungry for a win after, coming off of two losses. That has not happened in a very long time. It's not the best feeling. And I think we all have, a hunger to get the result that we want to get. And at the same time, we know that there's things we need to work on in these games that we didn't do well enough in the last few games. So not putting all the focus on the outcome, I think focusing, for the most part on how we can grow from the last few games, how we, fix the things that we want to fix. And I think if we do all those things, if we put together the pieces and do the little things right, we will get the outcome that we want to get. So not putting extra pressure on ourselves and just playing, how we know how to play. And I think we'll get the results that we want.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. Last one will go to Michael Saunders. Go ahead, Michael. I'm pressing on mute. There you go.
Sorry about that.
Yep.
Congratulations, Sophia, on a great in the NWSL. I think we were all pleased watching you. That said, I play two primary positions. You play either as a winger or as a striker. From your perspective, which position do you feel most comfortable at?
I think it honestly depends on what team I'm playing with. I'd say with Portland, just because it's where I've played the whole season, the center forward position is where I feel most comfortable with that team, and with the players around me and in that system. Here with the national team, I've always been more of a winger, and I feel like I've gotten enough repetition and knowing how to kind of switch the two, where I am, what team I'm playing with. So I think it just depends, what players are around me, what team I'm playing with, the system, the style of play. But I'm very comfortable in both positions. So if I need to play a different position here, I feel comfortable doing that, and vice versa with Portland. So both positions. I mean, I grew up being really only a 9. Winger was more new to me with the national team, but I've definitely spent a lot of time playing winger now, so I'm very comfortable with both.
All right, good answer, Soph. We're going to let Soph go. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.